Joining me on the story, defense attorney and former prosecutor John Q. Kelly. I mean, just your gut, John, when you look at that video, what does it tell you?
It's just scary that you see someone having the life drained out of them, literally being choked to death. And it's, you know, his legs are kicking behind him. You can see his strength going out of him, and the person on top just doesn't stop.
Which is not only alarming, but it's scary because you think, what would happen if someone else was in that situation? We heard from the attorney for the Hernandez family, obviously, who also called out the chokehold itself, saying it's problematic because the man who was on top of John Hernandez is married to this deputy. Would any of that really come into play?
Well, I don't think, you know, it wasn't a police action, so it doesn't matter whether it was legal or illegal. I think the main point is that Hernandez was engaging in some maybe objectionable conduct, and that's all it was. There's no indication there was any threat of force or that anybody else was being threatened. You know, if you don't like your kid seeing someone performing, you know, objectionably in public, tell them to close their eyes, take them away, drive away for a minute, or tell them to look away. You know, we all have to deal with stuff on the streets that we don't want our kids necessarily see, but you don't confront someone, you know, escalate to violence and death because you didn't like what they were doing.
Do you imagine charges will be pressed here? Charges will be brought?
I think there'll be grand jury action. It'll be up to a grand jury to decide, and if the other guy testifies, a lot will hinge on his story and filling in the gaps before the, you know, on-the-ground altercation.
It is interesting, though, how much the world of social media and everybody having both a camera and a video camera in their hand at all times has changed things. Because if this hadn't been filmed, we wouldn't be having the same conversation right now.
No, nothing would have happened. It would have been as someone was defending themselves. It was, you know, self-defense, and that would have been the end of it. But you're right, you know, and I think it's for the better in a lot of ways with these incidences that, you know, people are armed with cameras and they can capture these things. So
it's just, it sort of leaves you without words. It really does. John Q. Kelly, nice to have you back with us.
Sure, good
Thank
to be
you.
back. Thanks.